they're not only doing a new trilogy, 8, 9, and 10, but they're also doing spin-offs. I quote from Vin Diesel, "We've written out storylines for various characters." Guys, can this work? How far can this Fast and Furious franchise go? Any of the established characters you can see having movies? Talk about all that.
Yeah, I think it can work. Like, my initial thought was like, why? But then I thought about it and I was like, why not? Like, it's not gonna hurt anybody. It's not like they're gonna put the movies out. They're gonna make money, so there's no reason not to. Obviously, they're probably gonna do a Hobbs spinoff.
They better do a Hobbs spinoff.
The Rock's character.
Yeah.
But here's my question. They said various characters. Who other than Hobbs can you make a spinoff movie about?
I have one.
Well, let's answer that real quick.
Kurt Russell.
I guess I'd want to see more of him in this franchise first.
What about
cool.
I think
what about Han and Giselle when they go off to Japan?
I guess
Tokyo,
you could do
before
something
he
like
dies.
that. But is our mainstream audiences going to go see that?
Maybe.
Like
it all
them two
depends.
as the leads? Like
Maybe
Gal Gadot blows up.
Like, what about Dom? Like when he went to.
But that would just be another Fast and Furious movie, I think.
Well, yeah, I guess.
But no, I mean, I just can't. I would be down for like a Hobbs and who's his partner?
Well, he doesn't really have a partner.
Well,
It's
who
like
was
that-
the girl in the last one?
oof.
in 7?
The one who he's working with, the one that he like
Yeah,
saves.
it's the girl from Fast Five, the Brazilian.
Elsa
Pataki.
yeah,
She's Chris
yeah.
Hemsworth's wife.
I mean, what are they gonna do? I hate.
No, it'll
this,
be-
But I
it'll-
think they're gonna do like a Tyrese and Ludacris spinoff too.
No, they won't. I don't think they will. There's not enough there because
I don't think there's enough there for Han
because they
and
were both in
Giselle either.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah.
But
As far as Hobbs go, like that's the character that they're going to go for, obviously. But I think it's going to be set like years before we've met him before.
That'd be cool.
And I think the next one would be Kurt Russell because you can do a whole thing on the whole agency that he had going from.
You know what
Furious
his
7.
character reminded me of is like Kingsman, like something like
Yeah,
that.
there's all kinds of like that
They
secret
can do
government
like a
stuff.
spy movie with Kurt Russell's character.
Yeah, and you can bring in a character from the Fast and Furious movies that maybe he needs a driver,
Yeah.
like a Ludacris
Or
or a Tyrese or like a Michelle Rodriguez or someone like that. So there's all kinds of options. But as far as spin-offs like going for the Fast and Furious movies, obviously the movies make $1 billion.
Yeah.
So they're just going to keep going. You can literally do these movies forever and just keep refreshing it with new ideas and different characters and all this kind of stuff.
So it makes sense. Would I like to see it kind of end solidly? Of course, but Hobbs is the one movie that I would love to see. I'd rather see a Hobbs than a Furious 8. That's my opinion.
Yeah, me too. Actually.
Wow. Well, I mean, for this to work, I came up with two ways this can work. If Chris Morgan, the writer who's wrote from Tokyo Drift all the way to now Furious 8, if he stays on, because he's like the Simon Kinberg of this whole franchise. Ever since Tokyo Drift, these films have gotten better and better and better, and his writing has a lot to do with it. Secondly, Vin Diesel, I hope he doesn't get too hands-on. He's the producer, but for this thing to work, they're going to need to bring in some other people to like help, not milk this thing out too fast, because that's what they want to do. I mean, we'll see, Dwayne Johnson spinoff, that's an obvious choice. Han, Giselle, that's something I came up with too.
What about doing a spin-off seeing Luke Evans and Jason Statham as brothers growing up? Like maybe they do a team up as villains or something?
I mean, they're both still alive.
Well, no, before we meet them in the Furious movies, like.
Well, I was going to say I want to see them back regardless. Either way.
No, I think they'll be back.
But
because they're both still alive. But what about like you do a movie where they're together?
they'd
and
have
see
to do
the
it
villain
soon.
side of it.
They
the
have to do
villain
it
side.
soon before they get too old.
Yeah.
I mean, they could
like they're doing some kind of heist or something, and it's or some kind
or
of
how maybe they were good guys at one point, and like just circumstances led to them becoming who
Well,
they
we
are.
know that Statham is like one of the most deadliest killers in that universe.
You could totally do a spin-off.
What about a villains movie?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, there you go. Quick question, random question. Which will last longer, the Fast and Furious franchise or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Star Wars?
That's not even close.
Are we sure about
That's
that?
not even
We're
close.
damn sure about that.
That's not even
Okay.
close.
I mean, they're probably both going to go on forever, honestly. But
But the problem is, or not the problem, but the difference is the Fast and Furious franchise will take a giant hiatus in between movies
exactly.
because it'll reboot.
Star Wars is just going to keep going.
Well, just a random question. I wasn't trying to say anything.